Greetings, YouTube! The Doctor is in. Dr. Urius Papers here, coming at you with another commentary on Dungeons and Dragons. And we are back to the Unearthed Arcana release of all of the new Arcane Subclasses. The next one we are going to be talking about is the Ancestral Sorcery for the Sorcerer. And this is one of the new ones. It is completely brand new, completely novel. And we're going to be going over all of it. We're going to be looking at each of the abilities. We'll be looking at how it works with the overall base sorcerer class. And we'll look at how it compares with some of the other subclasses that the sorcerer in the 2024 PHB currently has. So lots to go over, lots to talk about. Don't go anywhere and stay tuned. All right, before we begin, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. If you like this video, hit the like button. If you have any questions or comments, please leave a question or a comment. Don't forget to share the video, and do not forget to hit that notification bell. All right, here we have it. Let me read the little preface in here. Bear the power of a spellcasting lineage. Your innate magic comes from a specific ancestor who wielded such awesome magical power that a fragment of their personality guides you. So that's a key thing. The ancestor grants you guidance and direction, kind of, as you explore your innate magical abilities. You might be the ancestor's sole surviving descendant, a reincarnation who bears an eerie resemblance to your ancestor, or a victim of a curse gained from handling your ancestor's personal effects. Now, the way that this class and the mechanics of this subclass roll out, it's more like a class with overwhelming presence more than anything else. And it does go very well with a charisma base, which is within the base kit of the sorcerer. So the first ability that we get here is at level 3, you go into your subclass and you get Ancestor's Lore. So you use your force of personality, again, personality and presence and commanding presence. So you use your personality to channel your ancestors' knowledge. When you make an intelligence check, you gain a bonus to the check equal to your charisma modifier. So you might actually have a pretty good intelligence, but you're definitely going to have a good charisma. And you also gain proficiency in one of the following skills: Arcana, History, Investigation, Nature, or Religion. That's good. So you could probably get 2 of these. I would get 2 of these intelligence based skills. And that way you get an extra bonus to all of them, the both of them that you get. And you can do that pretty easily with picking up various backgrounds and things. And in addition, you could get the normal like persuasion, deception, and performance or intimidation of the sorcerer. Intimidation, I think, goes well. Persuasion and intimidation, I think, both go well with this. All right, so in addition, and this is kind of a theme with all of the sorcerers, we have our ancestral spells, which are all the sorcerers, pretty much all the sorcerers, get a listing of spells that they always have prepared, which is great. So these are in addition to the spells that you do have prepared. And these lists you need to look at very carefully to see how good those spells are. So there's a lot of spells in here that are not necessarily sorcerer spells, which is good. So at 3rd level, you get Command, you get Guidance. Command is a great spell. Guidance is a great spell. Locate Object, that's a pretty good spell. Protection from Evil and Good, pretty good. Resistance, a pretty good cantrip. Guidance is probably the better one. And Spiritual Weapon. Those are really important ones. So Spiritual Weapon, great one. I love Command. Those are go-tos, and you just get them automatically prepared. So that's good right there. Magic Circle and Spirit Guardians. Magic Circle, not so much. Spirit Guardians, that is a choice spell. And that's normally a cleric spell, but now we've got it here with the Ancestral Sorcerer. So I think that's another good one too. At 7th level, we get Divination and Locate Creature. Awesome. Divination always gets used in games, and so does Locate Creature, Locate Object. All that stuff will get used a lot. At 9th level, you get Legend Lore. So that is a different form of like Commune. And then you get Yolanda's Regal Presence. So let's take a look at that spell, because that is a newer spell that is within the kit. So it is usable by bards, wizards, and paladins, and this particular sorcerer for free. It's a 5th level spell, 1 action. It is an emanation of self. It will last for a minute with concentration. You surround yourself with a 10-foot emanation. Whenever the emanation enters the space of a creature you can see, and whenever a creature enters the emanation or ends its turn there, you can force that creature to make a wisdom saving throw. On a failed save, it takes 46 psychic damage and has the prone condition. So, and it doesn't say on a turn. So it says whenever the emanation enters the space of a creature you can see, and whenever a creature you can see enters the emanation or ends its turn there. So you could back up and go forward. I think they need to reword that a little bit. The last sentence. A creature makes this saving throw only once per turn. Okay. That is a rider that they put on these. So it does some damage, and it knocks them prone, and it pushes them. So that's pretty good. So that's the overwhelming presence of this particular sorcerer. That's not bad. It's a good defensive spell, kind of if you don't want anybody getting close to you, but also people could push into that and then activate that as well. So not a bad spell. That's a pretty good spell list. I do like that. Those are automatically prepared. Those are all really good, in addition to like if you want to take fireballs and lightning bolts and magic missiles and things like that you get with the base sorcerer kit. Remember, always kind of look at these from the perspective of the base and enhancing the base. So also at 3rd level, you get Visage of the Ancestor. Choose the form your ancestor takes, which might resemble the ancestor in life or a symbolic creature, while your innate sorcery feature is active. And remember, as a sorcerer, you get innate sorcery, which is an ability you have, which can enhance things. As a bonus action, you can activate it for a minute. All your spells increase in DC by 1, and you have advantage on all attack rolls with sorcerer spells. You can use this twice before you have to finish a long rest. So that's a good one. And so whenever you activate it, the form appears in a spectral haze around you, and you advantage on ability checks you make as part of an influence action. So persuasions, intimidations, deceptions, things like that. That's pretty good, and it's free. So you get the spell list. You get some bonuses to some skills. You get proficiency in some skills. And then you get another bump in some influence-like skills. So for combat, the only thing that I see here is the spell list, is the lineage spells that you get, particularly things like Command, Spiritual Weapon, Spirit Guardians, and Yolanda's Regal Presence. Those are all pretty good spells. And then you get some bumps and things, but not a lot of other stuff that could be involved in combat. Now, at 6th level, that's when you start getting some of this stuff. So you get Superior Spell Disruption at 6th level. And your ancestor's spellcasting mastery aids you in breaking spells. You always have Counterspell and Dispel Magic prepared. So you don't need to prepare those anymore, which is awesome. That's really great. You always have them prepared, so that's not going to take up a preparation slot. You can just cast them and use your slots for that. In addition, while your innate sorcery feature is active, so again, this is a freebie, you can cast each spell without expending a spell slot. If you cast Counterspell in this way, the target has disadvantage on its Constitution saving throw. So if you recall, and we've gone over this spell before, Counterspell was nerfed in 2024, so it now causes that creature to make a con save, and on a fail, the spell dissipates with no effect, and the action, bonus action, or reaction is wasted. If that spell was cast with a spell slot, the spell slot is not expended. So that's a big nerf. Because before if it was 3rd level or low, it was gone, and then it was a check, and it was gone, and the spell slot was gone. Now it's just gone, if they fail their save, no matter what level, but the spell slot doesn't go away, which kind of sucks. But it is what it is. But they have disadvantage on that Constitution saving throw with this, so that enhances that pretty massively. And then if you cast Dispel Magic in this way, you have advantage on your ability checks to end ongoing spells. That's great. Once you cast either spell without a slot, you must finish a long rest before you can cast the spell in this way again. So you get one freebie, and then it's prepared after that. You have to use slots to use it. But you get a freebie, and it's a rider on top of that innate sorcery, which innate sorcery is a great one. All right. The next ability that we have is Ancestral Majesty. Again, overwhelming presence. It's not so much the ancestor, but it's you have this presence about you. You have foreknowledge, you have presence, and you are skilled in the ways of speaking. So maybe your ancestor's helping you with all that stuff. I can see the theme with this. I can see it. So your ancestor's visage evokes awe and dread. While your innate sorcery, and this is one thing I do like, is all of this stuff procs off your innate sorcery. So once you turn that on, all this stuff is going to happen. So you're going to get the influence, you're going to get the free counter spell or dispel magic, and you're going to get this Ancestral Majesty. So while your innate sorcery feature is active, you are surrounded by a magical aura in a 5-foot emanation. Whenever a creature, doesn't say an enemy, it just says a creature, you can see enters the emanation or ends its turn there, you can force that creature to make a charisma saving throw. A failed save, the target has the prone condition or has the frightened condition, your choice, until the end of your next turn. A creature makes this saving throw only once per turn. So it could make it a couple of times in a round, but only once per turn. And then you also get Steady Spellcaster. Your deep connection with your ancestor steadies you. Taking damage cannot break your concentration on sorcerer spells. That's massive. That is so you don't make concentration checks. That is massive. All right, the final ability is Ancestor's Ward. And this thing has a lot of abilities. Looks like it's got 3 different 3rd level abilities. It's got 2 6th level abilities. It's got 1 6th level ability, 2 14th, and an 18th. So that's pretty good. Ancestor's Ward. Your ancestor's protection redirects harmful magic away from you while your innate sorcery feature is active. And I think this is one of the only subclasses for sorcerer that does this, where everything is connected to the innate sorcery. So while innate sorcery feature is active, you gain advantage on saving throws against spells. That's awesome. That feels powerful. Once during your use of innate sorcery, when you fail a saving throw against a spell, you can choose to succeed instead. So, one thing I always ask about these level 18 kind of capstone powers, do they feel like an 18th level power? And this one feels pretty close to that. So, as far as interacting with the base kit, so we looked at some spells. Here's the base kit. And you can see, like, if you went all the way to 18th level, you have 20 spells prepared. That's a lot. Plus all those additional spells, plus counterspell and dispel magic. So those 20 spells that you have prepared are not counterspell, they're not dispel magic, they're not spiritual guardians, they're not spiritual weapon, they're not Yolanda's, Yolanda's regal presence. You have those automatically, so that is awesome. And then you got your spell casting, you got your prepared spells, all that stuff. Charisma is your spell, and an innate sorcery. So you've got all those things that are linked to your innate sorcery too when you use it. So you have these 2 things. Your sorcerer DC is increased by 1, and you have advantage on attack rolls. Plus you get the presence, you get the influence, plus you get the free counterspell and dispel magic, and you get the aura. All awesome stuff. And you also get the saving throw. That is right there. So while it's active, you gain advantage on saving throw. So all awesome stuff. Then you get your Font of Magic still. So you get your points, And you're going to have a lot of points. By 18th level, you will have, it looks like 6. No, you will have 18 points, which is a lot. That's a lot of room to meta magic and cast heightened spell, which I love. So disadvantage on all saving throws is a spell. And there's some nasty spells that you can do that with. And then, you're going to get your Sorcerer's Restoration. So when you finish a short rest, you can regain expended sorcery points equal to a number sorcery incarnate. If you have no uses of innate sorcery left, you can use it if you expend 2 sorcery points. That's easy. When you take a bonus action. In addition, while your innate sorcery is active, you can use up to 2 metamagic options on each spell. So that procs, that's connected. So a lot of really good stuff. Now, as far as the other subclasses, Aberrant Sorcerer, not one of my favorites. You get some extra spells, which are okay. Evard's Black Tentacles is pretty good. Telekinesis is an S-level spell. You get Telepathic Speech. That's okay. You get Psionic Sorcery. So whenever you cast any level spell from the Psionic list, you can cast it by expending a spell slot or by spending points. You get Psychic Defenses. Gives you resistance to psychic damage and advantage. So it's just okay. Clockwork. The big thing for Clockwork is this Restore Balance. I like that a lot. Bastion of Law is pretty good. Draconic Sorcery has some pretty good spells. And eventually you get Wings. Wild Magic is the top one. I would say it goes Wild Magic and then Ancestral. So we are going to give this. We are going to give this one. So let's go back up to the top here. Ancestral Sorcery. Out of the Sorcerer ones, we're going to rank that number 2 out of the current 5 that are there. And I'm going to say we're going to give this an A-. I like this a lot. I like the flavor of it. I like all the abilities. It's got a lot of utility. It adds to the base kit a lot. It has a bunch of different things that are linked to your innate sorcery, which makes it worth it. I really think it's good. So we'll give that an A. We'll give this an A-. Excellent use of this. All right. Well, that is the video I have for everybody today. I appreciate everybody tuning in, and I will catch everybody later.